The next topic that was brought up was the property. And Sonia, I think that was the one you were thinking about. What do you see evolving here in the exposure world regarding property?
Well, we're seeing a lot of rate reductions and deductible reductions, and the coverage is getting broader. So we can analyze your school's policy and make sure that you're positioned in the market properly, that you're getting the best rates and deductibles that are available for your school, and that your coverage is broad.
Okay, Julian, how about you? When you look at property, what comes to mind?
Well, it's important first to look at your limits each year. The main reason you want to look at those is to prevent any kind of co-insurance penalty. So a co-insurance penalty can be put in place to make sure that you're carrying at least 80 or 90% of the needed limit for your school. Now, sometimes you might have agreed value, which will cancel out co-insurance and remove that penalty for you. But it's still important to make sure that you're reviewing your limits and your coverages. Sometimes after a hurricane, you might run into an instance in which you're forced to meet a new building code or ordinance. And in order to have coverage for that situation, you have to have that addressed on the front end.
Yeah, good point. Gary, how about you? And if you don't mind, bring in the flood piece, because I know that's a big part of the property, but it's usually segregated.
Sure, and one of the issues that everybody should always look at, the school should, is tuition and whether or not it is a covered item under your business interruption coverage. From a coverage from a flood insurance standpoint, the National Flood Insurance Program does not provide coverage for business interruption. It only provides coverage for building and contents. So in order to purchase that coverage for business interruption for the peril of flood, you must purchase an excess flood policy. So it's very important that we all know what happened during the Katrina issue, so it's very important that the schools review their coverage, including the excess flood.
And the triggering events too. I think we talked about this a little bit before we started taping, was what triggers the coverage. And you know, the wind-driven rain seems to be a big issue that's being brought on now, whether that's, you know, property damage or not.
Big issue.